Yo, you got to come see me live August 3rd. I'll be at the Wiltern Theater in Los Angeles. August 3rd, I'm at the Wiltern Theater with Adam Carolla. We are doing our thing August 3rd. Get tickets, balcony seats available. Pabst Theater in Milwaukee. I will be there August 16th. Come on, Wisconsin, rally. August 16th. Buzz Williams, Marquette Golden Eagle head coach. This is not a joke. This is not a gag. He will actually be on stage before me. Buzz Williams, Marquette head coach, will be there at the Pabst Theater August 16th. Come see me and Buzz. Are we playing Thursday? Buzz Williams will be in the house. August 17th, the very next night, Royal Oak Music Theater in Royal Oak, Michigan, Detroit, Birmingham, Bloomfield. Come on out, Detroit. I know your city's bankrupt, but you're not. Come on, pat those pockets and come on out and see me August 17th in Detroit at the Royal Oak Music Theater. Thanks, guys, very much. All my shows are meet and greet. I love you. Keep pounding jmohr.com and hit that Amazon banner like Amanda Blanche. JJ, I'm sending you this to make up for the fact that my husband let you down. Yes, I only made a $20 purchase for printer ink, but at least I clicked the banner at jmohr.com. Before it, my husband, Nick Blanche, ordered over $200 in golfing accessories, towels, balls, tees, divot tools, and ball markers, and he forgot to support you for shame. All right, that's cool as hell. Amanda Blanche, forever grateful for your intelligent conversation. Amanda Blanche, thank you for putting your name on it. The Amazon thing has been blowing up. You guys have been doing a great job. Michael, he writes, "Hey Jay Moors, I'm just letting to let you know, I can't even talk, but I'm not doing it over because we're just talking. Perry Farrell is going to be here in like 1 second. Listen to this. Hey Jay Moors, this is what Michael wrote. Michael B. out of Carson, California. Okay. Hey Jay Moors, just letting you know that using your site, I just bought this ridiculous gaming keypad. Like usual, I'm keeping up with my virginity and literally purchasing away my need for condoms. And it's all thanks to you and your awesome podcast. Thanks for all the free laughs and entertainment. Every time I use Amazon, it's always through you. Lots of love to you and the family. Michael B. out of Carson, California. My friend, wow, that is the weirdest gaming console I've ever seen in my life. Do you wear that thing, Michael? What's happening? Go to jmohr.com, hit the Amazon banner, email me what you bought. I love it. I love staying in touch with you guys. Perry Farrell, lead singer of Jane's Addiction, Porno for Pyros, who remembers SciComm. Yes, this is a big one, and I'm thrilled that you guys get to listen to it. Very cool dude. You're about to see why.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Perry Farrell in Fake Mustache Studios. It's a big, you have to sell, that it's this big, giant, people don't realize what an enormous museum this is to culture. Not many. There. You can go to the, the MoMA, there's not an elliptical.
No, especially not one that probably has a history like that one.
That's got a big history. There's been a lot of history. If that elliptical could talk, it would probably say, where is he? Why doesn't he come?
I still use ellipticals like that when I go to hotels. That's my elliptical of choice.
John Sally offered me $100 for that elliptical, and I told him, that's absurd. That's like a $2,000 elliptical. He goes, yeah, if you use it.
Yeah.
And he goes, look at your belly. And then he tried to sell me like boner pills. He's like
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is he a boner pill salesman?
Yeah, Viromax. I guess that's a free plug for him. Hey, I got to tell you this. This is cool. I have a program in my phone. You pick all different songs for when your phone rings. It's completely random. Uh-huh. And when you called me to, we were just earlier tonight, Boom Boom, John Lee Hooker. That was your song. Haven't heard it in well over a year.
Oh, nice.
And I'm putting the baby to bed, and as I'm walking out of his room, I hear boom, 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 boom. I'm like, yeah, dude.
Wow.
And I'm like, I didn't recognize the number, but it was John Lee Hooker, so I thought it boded well for who was on the other line. It was you.
It's beautiful.
So welcome, brother.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
What's your favorite concert you ever saw?
Well, my mind is, the first, like picture recall. I'm thinking of Led Zeppelin.
You saw Zeppelin?
I got to see Led Zeppelin.
Like OG Zeppelin with all the parts?
Like 4 songs, which is very strange, right? Want me to tell you how that happened? So me and my buddies, we were living in Miami Beach. We took a pilgrimage up to, I think it was Tampa, to see Zeppelin. Zeppelin, we would, when a record would come out, Zeppelin record, we were expecting it for months. This is like a different time in the music industry and in a musical history. Zeppelin record was just like gold to us, right? Zeppelin record comes out, and they're going to be playing, the closest they're going to be playing to us is Tampa. We all went up there, stayed over at Broder's house. I remember the guy's name, last name.
Yeah.
Broder. He's a fireman in Tampa now, by the way.
What's up, Broder? Shout out to Broder. What's up, buddy?
Mark Broder.
Stay safe, my man.
So Broder had a sister who was going to school, I guess, up in Tampa. We all, bombed up to Tampa from Miami, slept at Broder's sister's house, went to see Zeppelin. Zeppelin came out. They were playing like, I had a dream. We were losing our mind.
Yeah.
It was
I got fired up. You just reenacted it. Did you see my, I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
And it was fucking on. Excuse me. We can curse.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Next song, it starts to rain. It starts to rain like it is kind of like now.
Yeah.
It starts, blop, blop, drops. And the drops feel great, Or so we thought. These drops are great. Hot, big, fat drops. It starts to get heavier and heavier, and the band's playing. It's like, or then you go, like they just started going into like song after song where you just go, like you seriously thought,
this is my life.
This is a frenzy. I don't know. I can't even tell you like what's going on in my body. I can't control myself. And then they stopped the show 4 songs into it because it was raining so hard. And Robert Plant says, "We're going to take a break for a minute. Are you cool?" And we go, ah! They leave the stage, and we're like, we're cool, right? You're cool, I'm cool.
He asked us.
And then I hear, whoa, and we can actually feel like this. We look, and there's a fucking helicopter leaving from behind the stage, going up into the air. And that
With a big Zoso on the side.
I wish. That would have been great.
Swan Song presents. Just leaving.
That was that. And so...
Did you know, I mean, there was no other way. There's nobody else it could have been at the time, or were you like, it can't be?
We knew it. It was like, oh, no.
We're not cool anymore.
Yeah, right. So anyway, he said that, and then he left. I'll never forgive him now.
But that was your favorite one, though.
That was my favorite show, because,
what's funny
that was
about
the
this?
highest energy level I've ever experienced in my body. Like, whoa.
Well, let me walk you back. Let me walk you back to 1991 at the Ritz. 3 songs in, I'm watching Jane's Addiction, and you said, hey, there was a riot last night in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
It was the result of a bad mood.
Yeah.
And to prove to you, it wasn't our fault. We have to leave you now.
Oh, really?
I'm very sorry.
Did I do that?
You all walked off.
Oh, really?
And about 15 minutes, not 15 minutes, maybe 4 minutes went by, enough where you go, what is happening? And you came back out, and it was amazing. And you said, see, you didn't riot. You're all right.
Oh.
I still remember this because it was the best concert I ever saw.
Wow.
And you guys broke up like 2 weeks later.
Oh, wow.
And there was such a sense of malevolence in the whole night, but great malevolence. And everything was destroying and great. And the backdrop was just a black curtain and a couple candles. Like everyone had their feet up on the monitor, like bracing for the hurricane, which was us. And I, for the first time in a concert, was a part of it.
I was leaning into you, and you were just shoving it back at me. Like it was just this huge recycling thing going on. And you said,
Here we are.
Yeah, and you said you didn't. I didn't know I was going to say that when I asked you this question about Zeppelin, but the fact that Zeppelin left, you guys left, came back. You said, I'll never forget this. You said, see, you didn't riot. Maybe it's because you're more cultured than Philadelphia. You have more museums than they do. And you said, but your head's just as soft when it hits the fucking concrete. Pig is led to the... And it was like, whoa! And then everything got back up and running like nothing ever happened.
I think what was going on in my head was, see, back in those days, there is another crazy story, but AIDS was going around back in those days. And I came out with that album cover, and people thought that I was talking about the fact that I had... gone to the doctor, and the doctor had told me that I had AIDS, and that was
the Ritual album cover.
Yeah, the Ritual album cover. That's what people were talking about, and at the same time, there was a girl that I was seeing up in Toronto. She actually contacted AIDS, right? Not from me, and I never had it. I never got it, but it was being said that she was dying, and that this is true. She was dying at the time, and people were saying, and this is crazy because. In 1991, people didn't know about AIDS. They didn't handle it the way they do today. There's so much more information about it. But back in those days, the health department, Los Angeles Health Department, contacted my manager and said, bring your man in. He's got AIDS, and he's, like a disaster, a walking hazard on the streets. Like really embarrassing, humiliating things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I was in
Was anybody else in the waiting room, like you and like Raj from What's Happening, like random other celebrities?
That would have been comic relief, but no, I went down. So I did go down there, and I got tested. Of course, I did not have it, but I was in such a bad mood, and I'd been so humiliated.
Of course.
Here in L.A., and people were saying, they'd see me, they'd go, hey, man, and they'd start getting emotional. And they go, you're dying, and it would shock me, you know what I mean? And so I went out to Philadelphia, and I felt like, fuck those guys, they don't have the right, people don't have the right to just go, I thought medical things were kind of a secret, but they didn't handle it that way. And from there, other people were like, man, you've got AIDS, and they were...
This never came across my radar, that this whole Perry Farrell and AIDS thing.
I kind of kept it to myself.
I know Richard Gere had a gerbil in his ass apparently, in my whole childhood.
That's what I hear, too.
Yeah. I was there, so I was there, bro. Pictures are it never happened. But how ironic is it on Ritual, my sex and my drugs are my own business, so get your fucking piss cup out of my fucking face. Like, how telling that...
Yeah,
you didn't see it coming, but then all of a sudden that's on the album after the fact. Then you're going in, you got to go get blood tests to prove that you're healthy.
Yeah, and well, that particular passage on Ritual comes from directly. So there was this crazy manager. I don't know if I want to tell you his name.
Don't even bother.
Okay. But anyway, he wanted to manage Jane's Addiction. He thought it was going to come in and clean me up and clean up Jane's Addiction. We were going to be a big band. But you're going to piss in this cup, and he took out some gloves, seriously.
Oh yeah.
He busted out a pair of plastic gloves.
That's what we do before the podcast.
Whap! And then he had a contract, and he pulled it out of a drawer. He went whap, and then he took out literally he brought a piss cup out from the drawer, and he goes donk. He puts it on the table, and you're going to piss in that cup. And I said to him, paraphrasing now, but Jim Morrison don't fucking piss in a cup.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not pissing in no fucking cup. So I was recording. I was in the middle of recording Ritual. So I went down to the studio the next day, and I'm like, what? Get your fucking piss cup out of my face.
Anybody
that
like Stephen Perkins? Stephen's like, I'll pee in the cup. I don't mind peeing in the cup. Anybody wanted to pee in the cup?
No, I was the only one he threw it down on. And I fucking I said to him, yeah, I ain't peeing in a cup. And then I went down to Mexico right after that. And there's a movie I did called Gift. Did you ever see Gift?
Yeah, I have. Many times.
So that was during that period, right? So
yeah.
I'm like, fuck you, man. I'm going to go to Mexico. I'm going to go surf. You can kiss my ass. took off to Mexico, but I was making that film simultaneously.
How, when you write a song, how do you construct it? Is it different every time? Do you write on certain instruments? Do you have a like Ted just admitted, I would guess, this is just me being a fan, I would guess Sex is Violent rattles around your head, and do you construct around a phrase, or is it or does Eric Avery come in with, coming down the mountain with that bass line, and you go, oh my God, we got to write something around that? Like what? How do you?
That can happen. It can happen a million ways. I know. I've often wondered. Well, like film, for example, or television is so much. There's so much more regimentation to writing. I'm assuming that you have a writer. You have a team of writers, right? And they're writing, and then they hand it over finally to the director.
The network.
And to you, and then you guys are doing it. Maybe some guys have the license to ad lib, but basically they have a guy illustrating for you guys, right? None of that for us. For us, it's like this. Something just happened to me. I wrote it down. I've got this. What do you got? I got a melody. I got a guitar. It could happen in so many ways. It could happen like hanging around and somebody picks up an acoustic. Somebody's got all the melody. You start recording it and you go, this sucks. And then you say, you know what? Throw a filter on it. And then, wow, I like this piece of that. Sometimes it will take you, you go away from it. Like you guys don't have that luxury. You start filming something, and you're done in that time. I mean, it works to your favor sometimes because you get on to the next thing. Sometimes we can procrastinate, but at the same time, when you live with music, it'll always come out better. When I first started writing music, we would go into a rehearsal studio 3 times a week, and we'd go out on a weekend and we'd play somewhere here in L.A., right? And we started to go out. But the point is, we had a chance to live with these songs, take them home, forget the song ever existed, then hear it again, and you go, whoa, I've got this new thing for it that you're just going like, man, it belonged here from the very... It sounded like it belonged here from eternity,
What's the longest song that ever took to write for Jane's?
I've written
or Porno for
personally.
Pyros.
I've written personally, taken 3.5 years on Satellite Party and Song Yet to Be Sung. Those are my 2 solo records.
Yeah.
Each one took at least 3 years. I was very proud of that because I wrote every drum strike, every synth part, and they're all really thought of and contemplated on. It's beautiful. With music, the less time you have to spend on it, cheaper it is. A lot of times, I really.
That's never a benefit because you hear a lot of guys go, "Oh, we sat down and for some reason that song came out in like 18 minutes, and that's just what we did."
Yeah, I mean that can be fun. Like I say, a song could be written any way, but a great song. Here's how it goes. You get guys, they're out there, they're jamming, they're trying to write a song. Oh, let's jam. Okay, maybe we'll come up with something. But the problem with when you jam is you can't make a crazy turn and be unified. And that takes
one guy makes a left.
Yeah, you can't do that. You're like,
follow.
okay, here's the groove. Yeah, we got the groove. All right, it's pretty good. It's the start of something.
Yeah.
I prefer to really, and I love doing it. I love to get my head into a song, take a minute with it, listen to it, and you operate with your subconscious bouncing off of it and thinking about it, like painting.
But what comes first? I always wonder.
You never know. One record we started, we just want to make a record because we have inspiration. The inspiration is we want to make music. That's all it took. Another one is I've got this grand idea now to do something. I've got, and it's got I don't want to call it a theme, but it's got a story attached to it. We could build off this story, and that's beautiful. And, there's a million ways. I also like to simultaneously work on singles, little songs, and not little songs, but like individual slivers of music with other people. Like I work with electronic producers.
Yeah.
And I do what they're calling it now top lining, where they'll write the music and then they give it to me and I write a song on it. And it's really great to do that.
How? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole different process to writing in that case. So they give me something that I just like the music. So I've got a poetry that I just write all the time, and I've just got it all logged, and I've got my stories, and you just say, this song sounds like it's really powerful. It could be about a man and a woman and them being in love, or this one. It's a silly one, you know. Maybe let me write something silly about a cat who wears his pants too low, you know.
You write a lot about love. You're a hell of a songwriter. And I think sometimes in the sonic boom that is a live Jane's Addiction show and Jane's Addiction albums, like Triple X, the Great Escape Artist and all that, I think, like, just going back and re-listening, knowing you were coming in, I'm like, and even, like I said earlier, like Porno for Pyros, you write... Like, hope is just another form of prayer. Like, that's something that could be in, like, a Buddhist quote book. You know what I mean? And just the way you write, you know, her nose is painted pepper sunlight.
Her nose is painted pepper sunlight.
Like, those are, like, Cummings-esque. Like, E.E. Cummings. Like, that's really tender. And I think what fucked our heads up societally, people that I know that are huge Jane's Addiction fans and the people that you see in your audience, is we had never seen that sonic sound before. It's an important band, and I've said this in the podcast. Duff and I talked about it. I've talked about it with Josh Homme. Like, there's bands that are important not because important because of what they pull you away from. And when Jane's Addiction, when you guys came out with Nothing Shocking, we were listening to like Poison and Cinderella, and we were like, this is the shit. Where the down boys go, like fucking Bullet Boys are the shit. And then you guys show up, and it's like, oh no. And for the first time in a long time, there was something new. And there was something, what you brought to the table, there was a menace to it. Like, this is what your parents tell you not to listen to. It was really new and cool. So hidden in that, I'm going to out you as being an incredible romantic. And you write very tender things. And I don't know if you get enough credit for that. God damn it. I'm going to start. Let me open up. I'm going to start my petition. Vote for Perry Farrell, tender songwriter.
Well, the deal is this. You know, my wife and I, we got into a discussion about how many people we slept with.
The answer is zero.
You have, I'm sure, had that conversation.
Yeah.
How many of you slept with?
I don't remember.
Well, that's right.
I have no idea. Not many.
So anyway, but you know what I said to her? I said, look, here's the thing. It doesn't matter how many people. It really, to me, it isn't a race to acquire. You know what I mean? You're not trying to get in as many as you can. It's not the Easter egg hunt. What you're trying to do is find something that is just so valuable to you that's a man I think needs this woman to bounce off of, bring a life together. They handle different parts of the day. You know, I said to her, you are not, speaking with the big business people that I do. However, our business, what we do at T, I say to her, you're more really more in charge of the home, aspects of the home and family. And she's amazing at it. Like, her detail to getting flights and our accommodations and the children's accommodation, all these things I don't do.
Right.
Realistically, all I do is check in with her. So what I'm getting at is this. In my life, I never really was looking to be, let's just call it a playboy. It's cool. I can appreciate another fella who is a playboy. But really, my feeling is, at least for me, what I can accomplish in my life, would I have time for all the head trips of all these other women? I would rather find a gem, a genius, a pillar that I can team up with, and be an incredible father, an incredible successful businessman, an incredible artist and an incredible lover.
That's important too. Maybe most. We both married.
You know what I mean? So that's why I write about love, because I really aspire.
But you've always celebrated
romance.
You've always celebrated. You write about search.
Great.
Most people write about searching for it and being so down because they can't find it. It seems like in your catalog, it's always we're here together celebrating.
Yeah.
Whether it be just but you can tell your wife, I know the last person I'm going to sleep with. That's something that's and guys that don't find that woman think you're crazy when you settle down and you have the life that you have, the family life and the family life that are like, don't you want to be out? Like, no, bro. To know like this is it. I'm rounding third.
And how about this? Like we always feel like we're always trying to be molded and everything else, but there's nothing wrong with molding your wife. There's nothing wrong with that. What I'm getting at is there's nothing wrong with telling her what she could do to be even better, telling her what bugs the shit out of you, and staying in love. You know what I mean?
Don't you think a good
communication, man?
Yeah.
That's if it's worth it to you, to me it's worth it. I go so far as to tell her everything that makes me happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
and everything that makes me sad too. And you know what? I think we are a dynamite team.
Obviously, but and in addition to that, it's almost as if I found this out blissfully. Like my wife, she kind of manages and produces me.
Well, that's good.
They're like the executive producer of us.
Yeah.
Like, and anybody that wants to do business with me, she sniffs out the bullshit in 1 second.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's a cocksucker. They're fucking full of shit. I don't care how much money they have. You're going to be miserable because of X, Y, and Z. And you go, oh my God, where have you been my whole life? I wouldn't have done Cherry Falls, the movie. My wife has a question for you. She just texted me. Which 3 standards from the Great American Songbook, this is great, Gershwin, Cole Porter, Kern, Rodgers and Hart, Hammerstein, etc., are your favorites, and which one would you ever choose to cover? I know from day one, I always thought Luck Be a Lady Tonight was begging to be covered by Jane's Addiction, because you guys could make it filthy.
Can we draw that up? Can we get that so I can just hear that for a moment? I know it is. Luck Be a Lady
Yeah,
Tonight.
you don't blow on another guy's dice. It ain't polite. Stick with me, baby. I'm the guy that you came in with.
Go.
Luck Be a Lady Tonight.
Beautiful. I feel that we have lost, like the songs that were written in the 80s. By the time the 80s rolled around, I feel like there was very few groups that
what
were
happened in
writing
the
a
80s?
love song.
It's pretty bad.
No, you know what I mean? Like
70s,
like a
top
good
shelf.
love, like a song like I Love You, not like I hate you because I love you. I'm a fucking baby. You know what I mean?
Actually, my demo, I'm shopping in the parking lot of Ralph's. I'm a baby.
You know what I mean?
I love you 'cause I
hate you. I'm a baby. I can't handle a woman.
Are there standards that you think, wow, they don't write them like they used to?
Lady tonight. Well, you know which song I want to do? It's obvious it's a Frank song, but there's this one song.
They're all Frank songs.
They're all Frank songs.
No matter what.
That's right.
He comes back to life and wants to do 1%. It's his.
I wanted to do that one. He sang it with his daughter.
What is it? Do you know the title?
Yeah, I do. And then I stop and tell myself I'm doing something crazy like I love you.
What is it about that one that
Romantic men.
Yeah.
See, I think it's fucking cool as shit to be a romantic man.
You think you've seen the sun, but you ain't seen it shine. That's the one I love so much. What the fuck is the name of that song?
Don't you
From the tree of life, I picked me a plum.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all like, you think you know what is an A+. You're not even close.
See, that's
There's a
fucking
world
great.
behind the world.
That's a man talking to a woman.
You think you've seen the
love
sun,
that.
but you ain't seen it shine. How is the writer that wrote, how is Perry Farrell that wrote, like Chip Away, the way you went about writing songs then, different from the way you write songs now?
Oh,
just you
completely
inside, not any technological thing,
Yeah.
but you
Oh.
personally.
Well, you know, no, the technology has to play into it. It's like saying, you know, your work, how is it different today? Well, first of all, I get there in different transportation, and that affects me. You know, I mean, you got your cell phones and everything else. Technology affects and changes and leads.
But does it affect the approach?
Yeah, everything.
But how does it, if you're thinking...
I know, like, put it this way. I know where I can get a song today, in what place I can get a song today, if I just sit there and work with the technology. I don't have to go through. It's not such a long process anymore. I can do it remotely. I can do it. You know, somebody could be writing something, send it right to me. I do it all the time. I go off to Hawaii, and I'm on the phone with my cat, and I'm hanging out in Hawaii on the beach, and I'm telling him, you know, change this, put that, stretch that note.
Your cat can use a phone?
My cat?
Maceo?
Yeah, no.
He knows how to work a phone?
I wish.
Your cat, your guy, your dude.
Yeah. My cat, my dude, my friend. I got a great story for you. The kid's name that I'm working with right now is Blumpy. Do you know what a Blumpy is?
No.
Okay. Are you ready? This is going to get dirty.
I'm ready, dude.
Okay. So, Blumpy and
Should I stretch? Diamond
why-
push-ups?
Get on your exerciser.
I'd have to dust
Get
it
on
off.
the power ramp in a pair of shorts.
New
All right.
album,
Okay.
Power Ramp.
Power ramp. So this guy's
Blumpy.
name is Blumpy.
Yeah.
And he's a good engineer, and we've been working together on Jane's recently, Porno, Peretz versus, you know, like everything I've been doing musically. So I have this engineer named Blumpy, and he's a good guy, but the name Blumpy, you know, I personally, I wouldn't want to be called Blumpy, just by the sheer sound of it, Blumpy. So I never ask him what is...
Engineers always have weird names. Flood.
Right.
Blumpy.
Right. Okay, so...
Mutt.
So I said to... Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I said to him, the first thing I did was to warm into it. I go, hey, what do you like to be called? He goes, I like to be called Mike. So I said, childhood, they were calling him Blumpy. He just took it. I'm going to call him Mike, because I don't like calling people names that I think other people might have given him and it's derogatory. I'll always say, you know, what do you like to be called?
Yeah.
So Blumpy said Mike. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to give it a little while. I'm going to ask him eventually. So why did they call you Blumpy? So it just happened. I just said to him, all right, man, give me the story. What's Blumpy? He goes, well, look it up. He goes, and we had computers with us, and we were all hanging out in the studio, having a good time. I look it up, and it's receiving oral sex while taking a dump.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Like you knew this?
No, we do it all the time.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
It's like Wednesday around here.
So anyway, I went, wow, that's so effing heavy. And I went like, why? Then I'm thinking to myself, whoa. So he wants to continue to be called Blumpy. So I'm thinking, okay, he likes it or something like that. I go, so how'd you get that name? In other words, he said, okay, let me tell you how it happened. He said, I used to, when I first started.
By the way, tweet at Perry Farrell, at JMohr37, hashtag Blumpy. Let's get it going.
Blumpy's now, he's going to be famous from this.
That'll be our inside joke on the tweets. It's good.
But anyway, so he said, look, when I first started, how am I going to do this without ratting him out a little bit? He was.
Well, you know, you're okay.
I'm not ratting him out.
You didn't say the manager's name, so you banked one. Like you have one in the vault. You can rat somebody out now because you didn't give up the manager's name earlier.
That's true.
So let's do it. Come on, Blumpy.
I'm just. He was in music that he really could not stand, but he was doing it anyway because. He was getting into studios and he was starting to engineer people. It was like cheesy gospel music. Okay, I'll just tell you what it was. It was cheesy gospel.
Yeah.
Right?
Not Al Green gospel. Yeah.
No. So anyway,
Nick Cannon gospel.
it was, and what he said, he goes, I did it because I love music, obviously, and I really wanted to get into engineering, but I wasn't proud of the people I were working with. So under the engineer credit, I called myself Blumpy. Get it?
Oh.
Because that was a sensation.
Like an Alan Snuffy
You're
film?
getting a blowjob, but you're taking a dump.
Yeah. What is Alan Smithy? Is that the name on a movie? When you don't want your name on a movie, when a director absolutely refuses to do it, it's an Alan Smithy film.
Sorry, ladies. This is.
Oh, we've had. Are you kidding me? The stories that have been told.
Yeah, I mean, this is not like me with bathroom humor. Like, you know what you call it, this and that.
No, this is Blumpy. This is the kid you're working with, Mike.
Yes.
What's up, Mike?
So anyway, then he said, So I go, I now get it. Why you call yourself Blumpy? And I look at him, and he gives me this evil smile. He looked at me in the eye. It was like,
but he's a smart kid.
He's a smart kid.
That was together
genius.
That sensation of like taking a check, doing what you love to do, but the product is shit.
Yes,
it's very smart
to call himself Blumpy. It's amazing. It's amazing. And then he goes, and by the way, you never forget the name Blumpy, do you?
No. And now I don't forget the name Mike. If I ever meet Blumpy, I'm going to go, oh, what's up, Mike?
That's right.
You guys are in LA in September, right?
That's right.
Is Blumpy going to be there?
Yeah.
I'm going to go, what's up, Mike? He's going to go, how's this guy know? Has there ever been a song that you've written?
Oh, wait a minute. Can I ask you a quick question? Knowing all that, would you still call yourself Blumpy after all that?
No.
Because,
you know why?
Because lyrically, I don't want people picturing that when they.
It's arduous. No, even if I didn't know what it meant, it's arduous. It's hard to say. It's not cool. Blumpy, like bumpy, I'm all right with. Bootsy, bumpy, clumpy. Any. Yeah, it's not good.
But blah. It doesn't work.
It starts. So you cannot spell Blumpy without blah. Any nicknames in James? Do you guys have any weird nicknames for each other? That's a stupid journalist question, but we're talking about it, so.
Stupid names in James' addiction.
Hold your mic up, bro.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You relaxed. It's good. I told you it'd be easy, right?
Yeah, I had one. I'll tell you this story. I had one. I used to call Eric Avery behind his back Sisyphus. Want to know why?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he was trying to pick up on a girl, and we used to all sleep in the same room on the road, so like you hear all these guys pick up lines and everything. And he would use the same line. He'd be like with a girl on a bed. He goes, I feel like Sisyphus rolling a rock up the hill with you. So I started calling it like, where's Sisyphus?
When he's not around, is he touring? I like that story. Is he going to be in the tour?
Did you get it? You know who Sisyphus is?
Yeah, he's the guy to push the rock all the way up the hill.
Yeah, but he would use it every night. Like, he'd be like...
But that means, like, pick a different angle because you're letting the girl know it ain't working out. Like, it's a line that lets the girl know that she's winning and you're losing.
That's for starters. The second thing is...
It's amateur hour.
You're like getting a hard on and you're thinking about Sisyphus? Like, can't you like
say like, hey baby,
like I say, you're such romantic. Be a man. You're a man.
Everything's such a riddle. That's cool, mama.
Right.
Are you cool?
Right. Are you cool?
Are you cool?
I'm gonna come right back.
What's your favorite Zeppelin album?
I liked all of them except for the last one. I didn't like when the bass player took over with the synthesizer.
What was the last? Coda?
Yeah, I think it was. Let's see how much I like it.
Zeppelin's one of those bands, like, I think I like
up until the last one. It was great.
So you don't have a favorite Zeppelin album?
I mean, you can always say Zeppelin 2.
Yeah, that's the one I always say.
That's
but
a classic
then
one.
Lately I dove back. I was talking to Steve Gorman from the Black Crowes, and he told me, oh, you got to go back and listen to Physical Graffiti. It's
great.
It's crazy. And that was like the one I didn't listen to. For some reason, I listened to it the least. And when I went back at 42 years old, I was like, oh, my God, this is crazy.
Because he's playing like crazy... like mathematical funk, just hard as fuck.
When you listen
as hard as you can.
When you listen to When the Levee Breaks, it doesn't dawn on you until like the 1,000th listen that that's just a guy on a kit in the beginning. It sounds like 5 people playing, like just that jump.
Yeah.
When you had
different production. Like you listen to it, there's hardly any bass, because in those days the speakers that's what the sound was. It was maximum. Everything was just amazing for that particular band and sound. And by the way, Jimmy Page produced it, so it's all his guitar is right there in your ears.
Thank God.
But today, if you would try to play that song with some of the tracks that are happening, or a lot of the tracks that are happening, the use of subsonic frequency and bass frequency is gone so far out there.
Have you ever heard the original When the Levee Breaks, like the old blues one?
Maybe so.
It's so quiet and different.
Simple.
You're like, how did you guys piece this together? Because you guys always have been great for a great cover. Like doing L.A. Woman and combining with Nausea from Lexicon Devil by the Germs.
Yeah, and Nausea. We did all that.
That's like bananas. And obviously Rock and Roll was great, and Sympathy for the Devil. So I always love a really good cover. And so the fact Zeppelin takes a lot of shit for covering old R&B, but it's like you got to tip the hat.
They only did because people said that they didn't give the people publishing. They didn't give them credit.
Willie Dixon and all those guys,
Yeah, which sucks.
What do you have to pay Lou Reed to do Rock and Roll?
Hell, I don't know. I know that last time I did a Lou Reed song, I don't really care.
Did you just put it out and like I don't even let the lawyers take care of it?
That's right. And
is there a possibility Lou Reed never saw a dime from that?
No. There's a good possibility he saw something, because I did Walk on the Wild Side with Moby and Paul Van Dyke. Those are 2 cats. You know Moby. Yeah. Paul Van Dyke is a little bit more obscure. He's
it's Blumpy's cousin.
Techno DJ that was very popular in like the mid '90s.
You got way into techno.
Yeah, I still enjoy it. I mean, but
it's a huge. It's not like a little departure. It is a huge departure from Jane's Addiction.
Well, this is what
Porno.
you think, right?
Yeah.
This is what you think.
Educate me.
But it can be for sure. But what I get into about the electronics is the tough stuff. You ever see a good dubstep guy? The young dubstep kids and trap kids. What they're doing. It's like mean and it's vicious and it's nasty.
The menace is back.
Yeah, menacing. When you're in the room and they drop something and you just go, ooh, and you just feel like, oh, wicked, wicked, wicked. I love that.
That feeling inside.
Yeah, and so I get that from certain aspects of it. Now, there is I would say that people see EDM, they go like, ooh, I don't know if I like electronic music. I don't like electronic dance music. That EDM stuff, that's pop. So I don't really like pop anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't like pop before it was EDM. I just don't like soulless, very too simple-minded.
Just fodder,
Yeah, it actually gets me. I start feeling like, shit, am I getting cancer? I swear to God, I start going like, wow, I could get cancer from this. It's so bad. You know what I mean?
This song's so bad, it'll give you cancer.
Yeah, just by its sheer, like, the gall of someone to actually, like, put that before me.
That's the most salient point I've ever heard and put to pop music. Just the gall that you released that shit.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Sisyphus for a second.
Okay.
He was so, and he'll only be known as Sisyphus from here on out.
Really?
The sounds that you guys made together, and there are songs that are so bass-centric. Is it like when a guy leaves a band, is it a betrayal or is it a mutual thing? Like, hey, it's not working out. Are you completely confused as to why he's leaving the band? And then I got to follow up to that.
Okay. Well, Jane's Addiction, the first time we broke up, I left the band. I didn't like my life with these guys.
But they didn't go out with the Filipino guy from Journey and call it Jane's Addiction. You went out with another bass player and called it Jane's Addiction. It is still Jane's Addiction.
Yeah.
But when you leave, it's over.
Well, I mean, look, you never know. Recently, Ray Manzarek died. Man, what a heavy thing, right? And I thought to myself, yeah, but the band was over when Jim died. That's true, but now we have Pearl Jam. We're about to go out on tour with them. I'm sorry, Pearl Jam. Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
We're about to go out on tour with them.
I never would have thought
Staley.
they could go on tour without Lane Staley.
Exactly.
But no one knows.
What? They're selling a lot of records and a lot of tickets, and that's their story. That's how.
Why
it
did
worked
Eric
out for them.
Avery leave Jane's Addiction?
Well, it worked out like this. Originally, I left Jane's Addiction because I didn't like Eric Avery.
Okay.
To be honest with you, it was, I just didn't enjoy being around a guy. I don't want to get into all the details, but the point is, the truth is, I didn't want to hang out. I didn't want to write music. I didn't want to travel. I didn't want to see a miserable face. I didn't want to, think about it, all the betrayal and what's being said or what's being blocked. It sucks. You know what I mean? I knew that if I just take a break and think things over. But it's funny, the day after I came back from the very last show we ever did was in Hawaii. And I partied my ass off in Hawaii, right? I lost my mind. I stayed over after the show for like 5 days, right? And all this time I'm thinking to myself, it's over, it's really over. That was the last show. I flew into LA and I got off the plane and I was standing there, where on the curb where cars come to pick you up, and I thought to myself, am I a schmuck?
Did I just ruin the best thing that ever happened to me?
I stood there and I'm looking and I go like,
but
this is great. I have nothing to worry about.
That speaks volumes about you and your character because, quote, lead singer syndrome. The run of the mill lead singer, fuck that guy. It's me. Not give yourself a little credit because I don't think a lot of lead singers go, did I just blow this up? Did I do something wrong? I think they're like,
came out of it was in my heart. It was like
that's your mate. That's your crew.
In my heart.
That's Sisyphus.
And I was standing there, and no one was there to pick me up, so I was going to get a cab. And I go, "This is great, man. I don't have anywhere to be, nobody, no expectations." And then I said, "How does that feel, Perry?" And I said, "Man, I don't know. This feels really wrong. It doesn't feel good at all."
Do you do that thing when you break up with a girl, like a week, like 2 days go by, and you're like, shit, you call her like, I was just fucking around?
No, I couldn't.
It was a clean break.
No, the part what I told you about, like I just did not enjoy hanging around a person who, really it's like this. There's people that don't like you, right? You can tell.
That's why I have Twitter. People tell me how much I suck.
You know what I mean? You can't change their mind, so don't try, is what Etsy always says to me. Like, you know what? They don't like you. They don't want to like you. You can't change that.
Yeah.
So don't waste your time trying.
You think Eric didn't like you?
I know he doesn't like me.
And to this day, he doesn't like you. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
And you guys did go back out on tour.
Yeah, we did. I mean, I tried to be very nice to him. It didn't work.
So here's the second part of that question. When there's songs like, Coming Down the Mountain, those like crazy just bass songs.
And you know what else?
Do you miss them? Do you ever go, this isn't played the right way?
No.
I know it's played well because I know the bassists that you've had.
Yeah. No, I don't think about it at all. I get in a zone, and it's a zone that I don't get from anything else in the world when I'm performing with Jane's Addiction, and I'll include Chris because he can get me there too. I get to this place where I'm just kind of dancing in a surreality. It's a surreal feeling, and it's like it is like taking a nice shot of something that puts you in this happy place where you can sing and dance. When you can sing and dance, and you fucking sing and dance, and people are going, wow! But you just imagine, you know how fun it is just to fucking sing and dance, right?
Yes, yeah.
And then at the same time, people are getting off and digging it.
Yeah, look at that guy singing and dancing.
That's what happens in Jane's Addiction. So I don't think about anybody bumming me out.
Right.
Everybody that's there is going to be just as high and happy and lose it. That's what's going to happen.
When you do
Otherwise, let me just say this.
Yeah.
There's people I've seen. You ever see a guy who can't hear himself and his monitor's no good? And he's pointing to the side. He's, fuck him, I'm throwing the microphone.
I've seen it a
'Cause
lot.
I'm a baby. I'm a singer baby.
I've seen it a lot.
See? Fuck those guys. You know what I mean? We are.
How does that happen from sound check to the live show? How do the monitors get fucked up, or are they not fucked up and the guy just sucks and he needs somebody to blame?
Look, and I've lost it about the monitors, but never to the people. Believe me. Even the last tour, I said, you know what? What's the point of me singing? Why don't you guys just play? And so this is going to be my last show with you guys because you obviously don't care what I sound like.
To
you
the crew.
Can't hear me.
To the crew? To the band?
Yeah. And the crew. Hey,
So then-
sometimes you got to do it because you know what?
But now you're the guy that they don't like.
No. Here's what
Navarro's
it is.
like, why are you airing me out?
Yeah,
what
but
did I
just
do?
don't disrespect me. Just let me hear myself. Let the people hear me too.
Yeah.
See, people, I like it, and everybody likes it when people gang all around you. So therefore, people have got to be able to hear me and the things that I do on the side of the stage, right in the front. I just want them to all hear me. I want them to hear you too. I want them to hear the drummer. Don't drown, please. Nobody drown the other person out. Because inevitably what happens, you might think, well, I sound so powerful. A band shrinks. Let me tell you something. It's a trick to the ears, but it's known to the heart and the mind. When you hear a strong voice that tells you this is how it's at, this is where it's at, and you're going, yeah, man, that's what I think too. That song is going to be powerful. Then you can layer the music in there. But when you have a good voice that you like to hear, because it's almost like your subconscious, you're on your way. It's a trick. So you need to have the voice nice and strong so people can hear it. Other than that, you might as well go back to the Whiskey A Go-Go on Tuesday night and hear a band all beating the crap out of it. That's why people don't go out anymore.
Bunch of actors with bands.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why people don't go and watch live bands anymore, because it became every man for himself. Like the 60s and 70s, the bands knew. It's the song. And then they kind of got carried away, like, yeah, but I'm going to be a big hero, And then
there were guitars.
And then there were guitars, and that really fucked up things. But
I think that's what's missing from Jane's Addiction is the Asian guitar player.
Hey, I know a great guitar player. I swear to you. And I love this guy. But
What's his nickname?
I can't quite... Huh?
What's his nickname?
What's his nickname? His nickname is...
we got Sisyphus, we got Blumpy.
Yeah.
I thought maybe... Oh, he really has one.
Yeah. It'll come to me. Hang on. Let me give my mind a thought here. I can't get
Well, let me ask you something then. Headlining Lollapalooza, going on last after a lineup that you personally put together to melt people's faces, and then going on last after everybody has drank it, smoked it, snorted it, fucked it, re-drank it, re-smoked it. That's a Herculean task. Has there ever been a band that was really hard to follow?
For us?
Yes.
I
would guess you guys are really hard to follow.
I wouldn't want to do it. There's people there. I've known stories where people have told the festival they can't go on after us, so they would want them to put this kind of another band in between us so that they don't have to follow us. I won't mention the name, but that's happened to us before.
Oh, you
like,
got
you know
it.
what?
You won't say it?
Fucking no.
You'll tell me afterwards?
Yeah, I don't want to do that to bands, but they did it to
any
me,
bands
but
hard to follow?
that.
Any bands where you go, wow, they've really fucking milked this crowd. We'll get them back, but...
Well, you know what it is? It's not, I've never felt worried about a band, although I will tell you this. I would like to, in my lifetime, I'd like to face off with the original Guns N' Roses. I'd like to get them in Dodger Stadium, Jane's Addiction versus Guns N' Roses.
Duff
Dodger
sat here,
Stadium.
and Duff.
I would call that thing "Get in the Ring, motherfucker."
You know, there's a comic, Jim Brewer, who's a good friend of mine, and he told me, and this is one of the neatest things I had ever heard. He said Metallica ended Guns N' Roses, nothing else. And I said, "How? What are you talking about?" He said, "Guns N' Roses." This is crazy theory he had. We were just sitting around smoking dope.
It's a theory.
Yeah, obviously. But it's just two comics smoking dope in the green room of a theater someplace. And he goes, "Listen to me now." He said, Guns N' Roses' egos were so batshit fucking crazy.
Yeah.
They thought they could follow Metallica for 18 months. Metallica could just do Ride the Lightning cover, start to finish, do a 40-minute set and say goodnight. Then Guns N' Roses makes people wait 2 hours.
Yeah.
Now they're pissed off. And then
Now
it's,
they're pissed off.
she's got a smile and it seems to me. And it's like, is this vaudeville? Yeah. This is like Ragdoll, Daddy's Little Cutie. Like,
Mammy.
what the fuck? Yeah, Mammy. Not patience. Like, we just heard, like, Metal Up Your Ass, and you're going to make us wait for fucking November Rain? Are you out of your mind? But when he said it, I went, holy shit, that makes great sense.
Well, the part about the waiting the 2 hours surely makes sense.
Why?
Because you piss me off for 2 hours.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm a metal kid. And I'm, there to see you. And I spent, like, my whole weekend.
And my parents are waiting to pick me up.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I'm a 16-year-old kid in a leather jacket.
Or
I don't
they're
fit
gonna be
anywhere.
really mad.
I don't fit in anywhere. I fit in
Right,
here.
right.
And it's your job to fuck me up and
Right.
send me back to my parents.
Right.
And I'm going to go, it was all right. And not really tell them how crazy it was.
Right.
And nothing's happening.
Right.
I'm standing around with other kids with acne and leather jackets.
Yeah,
Fucking come out and kill me.
I never got that. I mean, that to me is suicidal.
You said you wrote quicker now than you ever did. You said you talked to your dude, you're in Hawaii, and the computer and this, and you may not know this, but you possess a bit of telekinesis. Because Duff sat right where you're sitting, and he said he went to your house with a couple of the guys to work on some songs, and he said you guys, it's like 3 weeks ago, he said sitting in Perry's house and watching them talk, I realized they weren't talking. They were merely communicating via their eyes. And like when Aquaman talks to fish and it goes, boop, 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 like there was some weird fucking signal you guys laid on
Between
each other.
James and, with the fellas from James, you mean?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
Duff
we
realized,
work very
and,
good
and
this
Duff
way.
realized, I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
And then they asked me something, I'll give my opinion. But these guys, they've got it to a point, Jane's Addiction has it to a point where they're literally not talk. We've been here 2 hours.
Yeah.
We've got a ton of shit done. No one's talked.
Yeah.
So kudos to your telekinesis powers.
No, we just got, we're working on this song right now, and Dave laid some guitar a day or two ago. He's going to come in and finish it. I invited you to come in.
Yeah, that's fucking. I'm doing a corporate gig and I'm
Next time.
I almost canceled it.
Oh, really?
But this mortgage is strangling me.
Yeah, I know, baby. You got to keep that mortgage going.
Was that you that jogged past me down on the
That
beach?
was.
It was
Yeah,
so
it was cool.
You know what's funny? I had a Bad Brains t-shirt on, and I took it off because I sweat like a pig, so I have a gut. And when you approached me, I didn't know it was you from like 40 yards. I go, oh, here comes fucking barefoot guy.
That's me? Was I barefoot guy?
Yeah, but anytime you jog, you're slogging it out, and there's always just some guy that, man, it's just kind of effortless. Like, I'm just going to go for I'm just going to run for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
no big deal.
exactly.
Not break a sweat.
Yeah.
Perfect hair. Clean, white, crisp T-shirt and cargo shorts. You literally could have went to a meeting in Century City after this jog. I'm sweating. I'm listening to The Great Escape on my giant Beats by Dre headphones. I have these state-of-the-art sneakers. I've hydrated since 6 a.m. to run at 8:30, and then I go, oh, here comes fucking barefoot guy, probably some jujitsu asshole. It's you, and I go, oh my god, I should
heard
have
you
had.
kind of mumble, Perry, but like you were out of tune because you were listening to music. You know when people sing when they have headphones on, they're like,
You hear 'em on
I heard
airplanes.
you went, Perry.
And it was like you were like we were just past each other. The Doppler effect as you go by.
You said that, but then you didn't turn around. I go, okay. He's embarrassed because he's on the beach and he's probably spritzing.
Yeah.
He doesn't want me to see him like this. I swear to God, I go, I'm not going to bother him. I'll just keep going.
I don't embarrass. Well, I don't really embarrass. It was more. Here's where my head is at. The whole rest of the run. First of all, it was brutal because I just started running again after like a 6-month layoff, and I was like, "This fucking sucks." And here comes barefoot guy. Not a care in the world. Your hair looks like it looks now. Not sweating. And I go, I think that's Perry Farrell. And then right when you got close to me, I realized I'm listening to Perry Farrell, and the odds of this happening are 0. And then we're like shoulder to shoulder. And as you get that quarter-inch past me, do I go, hey, what's that? So I go, Perry. Yeah. Like, because I don't know, do I say, hey, I'm listening to you now? I don't know how to get it out. And then I wasn't embarrassed. Here was
tape with your finger on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, should I let this out?
Or like an ambulance.
Should we hear this?
Here's the thought I had for the next 20 minutes of my run. Why'd you take the Bad Brains T-shirt off? He would have liked that.
Yeah.
He would have really thought, hey, that's cool. Jay Mohr running around with a Bad Brains T-shirt.
Although we've never said hello to each other formally, but we have shared the baseball diamond in the Little League.
It's true.
Like my kid and your kid.
You came back from Spain.
Yeah.
And you were in town for one day, and you were coaching third base.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is the new rock star. Like, this is more rock star than anybody knows. To fly in from Spain, or you're going to Spain, you just flew in from like Florida, some weird place, and you're like, tomorrow morning the car comes at 5 a.m. and we go to Spain for a gig. You guys had a gig.
Yeah, Bilbao.
And you're like, well, you know what? I'll just coach Little League in the meantime.
That was fun. I don't wish my kids were forever, immature or anything like that.
I do.
But I see signs of them becoming young men, and I don't like it.
I don't like it at all.
I'm like,
my 2-year-old.
Damn it, you were so cute.
Every milestone my 2-year-old has, my wife and I are like, don't do that anymore. That's terrible. Like, don't stop aging.
Yeah.
Porno for Pyros. It seems like Jane's Addiction fan. This is how I would feel. It must feel to you. You must get sick when you're doing press for Porno for Pyros. People call it your side gig or what you're doing. And it must feel like, no, fuck you, side gig. This is my life.
Yeah. Things have changed over the course of, I've been performing for 30 years as a musician. Back, in the 90s, I took things so personal and I had so much more reservation and maybe I would say, anticipation about things that I don't anymore. I have a lot more faith these days. And so what I'm getting at is people, you come to find the legend of Porno for Pyros has grown so much that people are like, oh yeah, well, I was into them back then. I don't know if they were or not, but they sure do love porno now. And as a matter of fact,
people hit you up on Twitter a lot.
Yeah, I'm getting pushed to do porno because, number one, porno themselves, the guys, I love hanging out with them. It's so much fun to hang out with them, and I should spend some time with them on stage again. We've recorded a couple of tracks that are coming out really good. They're almost
Porno
done.
for Pyros tracks?
Yeah.
This is like breaking news. This is great.
Yeah. And so we'll probably...
Those are great songs, too. I mean, who is Kimberley Austin?
Well, Kimberley Austin was this beautiful, she's absolutely beautiful, fine artist in San Francisco. She happened to have lost her leg. But what she does is the art that she does is she photographs onto silk. And the photographs are figurative. They're people, different people, very, very interesting people. Imagine the young people of San Francisco. She photographs basically like young people in San Francisco, and they're life-size onto silk, 3 layers deep, 3 layers of silk. And I have one hanging in my home. I'll show you when you come over. But
and you decided that I have to write a song about this lady, and the chorus is Kimberley Austin.
Her.
Yeah.
It's a picture. I bought this. It's not a painting. It's a photograph, as I say, on silk, and it's Kimberley Austin, and she's nude, and she's got a knife, about to thrust it in her into her chest, into her breast, her own breast. But she wasn't wearing her prosthetic leg, and it's just. One of my prized pictures that I
But
guess
she's an incredible muse for you. I mean, that's to make the cut. I mean, your whole life you've written songs about gals and you kind of layer it, and it's double and triple entendre.
Yeah.
And that song was like Kimberley Austin,
Yeah.
Kimberley Austin, Kimberley
well,
Austin.
there's entendres there too, but I won't get into those.
I won't make you.
Yeah, okay.
When you do Lollapalooza, you're also
You're gonna lose, Jay. Just don't try it.
No, I don't fight. You got to fight to lose. When you do Lollapalooza, you're a businessman too. Do you ever walk around during the day and go, "Oh, this band"? I'm not going to ask you to name names, obviously, but do you think like that band needs to be slotted higher during the day, later in the day? That this isn't working out.
Well, yeah.
Because I know you're a guy that I've listened to enough bootlegs. But there was a guy in St. Mark's Place when I lived in Manhattan that just sold bootleg cassettes, and I had like 40. Rome was the best one.
Oh, really?
You Romans. You just went on like 10 minutes about how much you loved Rome and Romans and talking about the...
Really? And
great.
you're Italian,
and you did,
right?
No, I'm Irish, Scottish, German.
Irish, Scottish,
but
German.
it's one of the few times I ever heard you guys play
I saw you
obvious
play an Italian guy once.
in the movie Mafia,
Yeah,
probably.
that's right.
With black hair.
That's right.
But it was one of the few shows ever where you played obvious. And it wasn't the obvious that's on Ritual. It was like a different, almost like... funk, it was. It became this other thing.
Well, those are the end. Those are the last few shows. So we were like, the end is near. We might as well just let her rip and just get wild.
Do you? I forgot what my question was.
Oh shit.
Do you? Oh, so do you see bands? During,
yeah.
Because you are a businessman. You co-created Lollapalooza,
right? Well, to be honest with you,
what's the vetting process? What's the vetting? This is good. In theory? What's the vetting process to choosing that lineup? Because everyone wants to play Lollapalooza,
right?
But you have to mix and match. It's like being a DJ and picking the right record to come after the right record to come after the right record.
There's that. There is that. There's definitely that, and then there's the politics of music. And those two things compete. It's like being a politician.
You strike me as the
trying to do the right thing, but there's people that are lobbyists.
But don't you strike me as a guy when the politics get involved, that band's done. They're out.
I personally don't get into it. I have blinders. I only bring to the table groups that I like and enjoy. I don't have to deal with. This is just This is backroom stuff, but I don't efface the agents. I don't sit there and try to knock a guy down, to pay him less money or do a favor for a guy and put him in a better position. I don't do none of that. You have to understand that's going on all around you in the music industry.
Right. The manager wants them.
The manager
we
wants
want them second to last. Yeah.
This position for this amount of money.
You can't put them on at noon. They're incredible.
That's
You're like,
right.
no, bro, they're not incredible.
Right.
But
this is our shot, and we're going to go on in a better slot.
But where does that? Do they ever call you in as the ringer to just call?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, they don't. They don't do that because my partners, they do that for a living. So that's the difference. Me, I am an artist. I'm an artist, and I'm creative, and get me to that stuff. I'll put in names, and I really want these names, and let's see it happen. And I build things. I'm into doing things with technology. Going back to it, the festival also will too change through the technology and the newer technological advances. As an example, this year Lollapalooza is going to have these kind of installed Wi-Fi towers so that people have perfect cell reception.
That's great.
These are things that I'm interested in.
What took so? That's like right when you said it, my first thought was, oh yeah,
right. Why not? Right.
What took so long? This is great.
Because it costs.
No, not you. I'm
money.
not calling you out. It's like
first thing is it costs money.
Yeah.
Second things cost money. Third things cost money.
What's the fourth thing?
Fourth thing is there aren't companies. There aren't companies up until now. There's one or two companies out there now that are doing it. We have engaged with one of them. So what is that going to do? Well, so I can call my friend now from the venue and ask where he is.
Tweet. Everyone's going to tweet from it.
That's great to start with. But there's a lot more you can do at the festival in the future with things like having a pristine reception. So those things I care about a lot. I engage in. having to take an act because so-and-so really wants this guy to happen and we're going to give you so-and-so, but now you got to take so-and-so too. I don't get involved with that. I know it happens all the time, but, in the end, it all kind of balances out anyway. You got to figure it like this. Joe Johnson, he's an agent, but he has good acts. You trust Joe Johnson. If he tells you this act is new and young and up and coming, fine.
Sure.
Let Joe Johnson have at it. We have 150 acts. I can afford to be generous.
What band surprised you the most in all of Lollapalooza?
Like how good they were?
Yeah, you're like, holy shit.
I'll tell you off the top of my head. Well, okay, surprised me. Eminem surprised me recently.
Wow.
Because, to be honest with you, I didn't know if he was going to be that good live. But he put effort into it, and I appreciate when people do.
He's incredible.
Effort, yeah, put effort into his show. He had things, little gag here, a guest person there, a great video. You know what I mean? He himself is right on it. Song sounded good. I liked the way it looked on the stage. People were kind of, getting into it, and so I thank him for that.
What I dig about Eminem is he's not a white rapper; he's a rapper. And all the brothers that I know, they always put him in their top 5 MCs of all time. Mm-hmm. Not all of my black friends, but usually he. And if they omit him, and you go, "What about Eminem?" They go, "He's tight." Like they put him right up.
Yeah. And
it's with one sentence on his first album. How can I be white if I don't exist? It was like the ghetto equalizer. Like, I'm just like you. No one knows I'm around either. So that's cool you said Eminem. I didn't even know that he was on Lollapalooza.
Yeah, he came in, and it's kind of interesting. How old are your children?
10 and 2.
Okay, 10. So the 10 might know Eminem's raps already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like my boys, because boys at a certain point, I'm Slim Shady, I'm the real Shady. And they were walking around for weeks doing that. So, and it wasn't because he was playing Lollapalooza, but it happened to be simultaneously. Like some kids, the kids, what they do is they sit around and they look at their Mac and they say, "You see this video? Have you seen that video?" And they were the kids, the 10-year-old kids, are getting into Eminem. So when we were there, my boys were psyched and they were like rapping along with him.
Has there ever been a Jane's Addiction song that wasn't working and another member of the band completely salvaged?
I'll tell you what. There have been Jane's Addiction songs that were really good that they didn't want to do at all. I have 2 of them.
Like what?
Right now in a can.
Oh.
I had 2. We had 2 songs that we did with Sisyphus. He didn't want to let them out.
Which ones?
You don't know them because they're in the can.
They really
they were never released because he didn't want to let us release them.
And is it everybody? It's 25% split. Everybody gets equal split.
Yeah.
Do you rue the day you made that decision?
I do. You want to know why? You know why? It is more than anything.
Sure.
It's because
what's the bassist think? Let's think of his. How does he think the lyrics should go?
Exactly. It's not even the lyrics. We got into an argument about parts. A chord, a particular chord. As far as I'm concerned, the way it goes with music today, how easy it is to record music, try it.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and like, I don't know, I don't want, because that's not what I wouldn't. Look, man, why don't we do this? Give me 5 minutes. Have a little confidence, and if we don't like it. But give me a chance here.
How do those not get released on like Cattle Whistle or Up from the Catacombs?
Does
he have set?
No, those things. He signed off on all of them. What happened was he just didn't enjoy. At the end, he didn't enjoy that. I would say, "Hey, can we try this chord? I hear this one chord," and he would get all huffy. Like he didn't want to try it. So
what
so
song?
He ended up like the song got recorded anyway. Trent Reznor recorded him actually, so it would have been fucking awesome. And but he vetoed it and wouldn't let the songs out.
What Jane's Addiction song has surprised you where you're like, I guess this is pretty good, and then has become like a staple set list mainstay? Or do you know they're all good? Because as a comic, when I go do stand-up comedy, people always say like, well, do you go work stuff out around town? I go, no, because when I think of it, I can't wait to go do it because I know it's. If it sounds cocky, so be it. Because I know it's good, I know it's funny, I know it's going to work, I know the beats already.
Right.
And then for the next 6 months, I can just fine tune it, peel the onion, peel the onion, peel the onion.
Yeah.
So is it like that with the songs, where when you decide to record it and you got the vocals and you got the parts, you know it's going to be good, or have there been some that you thought, menza, and then when it's a finished product and you play it live, you go, this is way better than I thought it was going to be.
I'll tell you, there's a song that I want to do all the time, and it just doesn't come off good live. So, and then there's others.
Which one?
Superhero. I love that song. You know, it was the one for
Entourage.
The
Yeah, I don't think
song is
people
so
realize
fun.
that's
It was such a good song, and I try to do it live. And then there's others. That,
Hold on. What makes it not work live? What?
Because James has got, you know, you were there. James has got this thing, man. Once it starts to happen, it's heavy. So it's hard to then, like, slip. Everything's got to be heavy in there. If you put one thing in there that's not as heavy, all of a sudden you're going like, oh.
Yeah, but Jane says isn't heavy. I mean, it's heavy content.
It's
but
heavy
the sound
content,
isn't
but
heavy, and
still,
summertime rolls. And
no, it's heavy. It's heavy. Yeah, it's heavy, like emotionally.
we keep it real here, bro. Fucking dogs barking in the
Yeah.
rain. We don't give a shit.
You gotta protect your valuables.
We're like 2-pound dog. I was gonna give that to Etty as a parting gift.
But you know what I mean. Like if something comes off, it's too light. It's like you're having. Well, I'm gonna use a beer analogy. You know, there's some great beers out there. Allagash. You know, Chimay. Then all of a sudden, a Miller Lite shows up. It's like, whoa. No, I'm not drinking a Miller Lite. I've been drinking some quality beer.
I'm not drinking Padron.
Right.
Drinking fucking Dobell. You
That's
out of your
right.
mind? Don't you know
Exactly.
what's up?
That's right.
If we're gonna raise our glass, we're getting the Dobell.
That's right. On the rocks.
Superhero, tough to play. But is it hard to play live, or is it just the energy doesn't fit no matter where you put it in the set list?
I thought it fit one time.
That's not a good average, Perry.
No, I know. I think it has to do with, it's like this. It's crazy, but certain songs sound good on the radio because of the fact that they're kind of like, they're not that heavy, and they just kind of go through, and you go, hi, deedle, 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 deedle.
It is a different structure.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a little bit popular.
And one thing about Jane's Addiction, it's never been verse, chorus, verse. And re-listening to Strays, these are really good albums, bro. Like, they're just really good. And, like, just even the song Strays, the way it starts, whose car am I driving in? Yeah. And I think with every Jane's Addiction song, it's always like, now, this is like...
cinematic is how I like to build
It is cinematic. And Ted just admitted, going back to that, when Navarro goes, no one was doing that.
Right.
And now, like, Daniel Lanois will do it, like, gently, like, with Octung Baby and with, like, Willie Nelson Teatro, that landscapey. He'll do it with synths and stuff and with Neville Brothers sounds. But when you guys were doing Ted Just Admitted that, and I believe you're playing your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
That was just your mouth.
Yeah.
Just no harp available, or you went, no, this needs to be done with my mouth?
I could have done harp.
It works.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I knew the part.
But they are cinematic. And they are, I've realized how stupid this sounds, but you will exactly know. It is a roller coaster, these songs.
Right.
Like, right before you scream 3-4 for Ocean Size, that room gets quiet and uncomfortable, and you can stretch it out. And it's a lot like stand-up comedy where, like, let me see how quiet, because they're going to get uncomfortable before I am.
Yeah.
And you tapped into that early. Like, these people are going to get, like, did I forget how the song goes? No. I'm just waiting, building, 3, 4. And when that shit crushes in, it's like it is. It's like the crescendo and the crescendo. It's it's like the highlight.
The coup de grace.
The coup de grace.
As Sean Parker
it's the
calls it.
aria. Who's your favorite Beatle, Perry Farrell?
John Lennon.
Really?
Yeah.
Favorite Lennon song?
Mommy Come Home, Daddy Don't Go. I don't know.
Pick one punk band that you wish came out now.
Clash.
Really?
Right now.
Really?
Right this instant.
Like if they were brand new right now.
I want them here right now.
I never knew. I wouldn't.
I missed the Clash. Clash are fucking awesome.
Not the Ramones, not.
Oh, I love the Ramones too, of course. But you know what?
But I guess the
reason
Ramones
you asked
were-
me- the Ramones. We can do the Ramones too. They'd be just as.
I
great.
think they were. The Clash. We were just Steve Lillywhite. We were just talking about this. The people out there with their like the Clash or everything T-shirts and the hipsters and Los Feliz that are like the fucking Clash, man. Yeah. It's like, listen to Straight to Hell, listen to the Reggae Clash, and then circle back around and then talk about the Clash. They're better than you think they are.
Yeah. Well, the reason I say
thought you were going to go. I thought for sure you were going to go like Misfits or you know.
Not Misfits, but Ramones. Our first or second tour was Ramones.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Christ.
I hung out with Dee Dee in my room. This poor fella on his birthday. I got him a pizza. That's how well I know the Ramones.
What town?
I could have been in Cleveland or someplace.
Now that's a band that can follow Jane's Addiction.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's right. Yeah, the whole time. But the reason, I'll go back to why I say the Clash, but let me give big kisses to the Ramones. I kissed their gravestones. The Clash, I say to myself, like, man, I wish groups, because, you know, today there's a lot of groups. Now I'm going to become an old fuddy-duddy, but in the funniest way, Jay. I'm an old fuddy-duddy. I wish the groups would kick ass more and have a little bit more defiance and a little bit more energy and a little bit more anger, you know? I want to be thrilled a little bit more by music, you know? It seems to me, I hear a lot of this, la 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 la, la 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 la. When they go into that fucking falsetto, man, I want to just choke somebody, you know?
But I think that's why you guys, you never have to record an album again. You're never not going to sell tickets. And I think it's because you guys do push back. You guys do provide the hurricane.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to. I personally, but this is why I go back to the Clash. The Clash, man, when they came, they had all that, but what it is, you got to have all that, and you have to have intelligence. What I mean by that is you can intelligently write a song. The subtext of it all is, yeah, but I'm in control. I have an answer. I have a solution that could become. It can come out lyrically, or it could be on the forefront of technology. You could be saying, I'm clever and I'm intelligent in this regard, in this respect. I understand how to manipulate sound. You know, but the Clash were good at both of those things.
Yeah.
And they were tough. And I want to hear some toughness. And you know, when I preface it by saying I'm going to sound like an old fuddy-duddy, but an old fuddy-duddy should be saying, these kids today, they're a little crazy, they're a little wild. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying,
where's the wild?
Where is the wild?
Where's the wild?
Yeah, where's the
it's
wonder?
Gone. Yeah, I'm with you. It just
defy me. I want you to.
Every musician that sat in that chair, I've asked, where did it go? Because now it's like Black Eyed Peas and you know.
Well, the record company doesn't take chances on guys that are potentially losers. You know, they stopped doing that when Kurt Cobain died.
Yeah.
They're like, forget it. Give me the Goo Goo Dolls. Where's the Goo Goo Dolls? The kids are gonna love them.
It seems they only play award ceremonies, the Goo Goo Dolls. I never heard of a Goo Goo Doll tour.
Sorry, Goo Goo Dolls. I don't really know your music.
They're nice guys. You see them around.
I have no idea. I'm sorry.
But you never see them like. Think about it though. You never see a Goo Goo Doll like a tour T-shirt. It's always the Goo Goo Dolls.
Well, do you know a friend that knows a Goo Goo Doll song?
I only know the one from a soundtrack. They only do soundtracks and award shows, like they do the NHL awards, or
they
you know.
Do? Well, that's
that's all
cool.
Yeah, but I
must
think
be tough.
I think you'd rather do like a theater tour, right?
Yeah.
Up the beach.
Yeah.
Is music playing backwards? Do my ears deceive me? When you do Here We Go Now, Home, what is that effect? And that was 1988, right?
See, I have a delay unit. I manipulate.
Is it 1988?
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah.
Okay. I'm a senior in high school listening to Poison. Skinny papa. Every song has 2 chords.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden,
3.
And not Poison.
No.
And then all of a sudden, I hear Up the Beach, and I'm going, I don't even know what the fuck's going on, but I want in. I want to be in this gang.
The people that impressed me in those days that were doing things from a production standpoint, Adrian Sherwood, like the original like King Tubby recordings. It was that Clash era when the Rastas were going to England and the English had, control of those islands, and they were, you know what I mean? Like all that was going on, the rugby thing. It was like late 70s, early 80s. All the that clash, that sound clash that was happening, reggae was happening, all that. I was actually impressed with and wanted to get more into that and bring that into rock and bring Zeppelin into it and bring punk into it.
But what's the sound on Up the Beach?
It is a delay unit that I've got, and I create loops on the spot. So while I'm singing, I punch a hold, and then I can start to. That hold is a loop, and then most people just have a loop is a loop, and you paste it in there. But I do live loop. I start to.
I've seen you live on acid, and I wasn't sure if it was my imagination or if it was really going. I'm like, well, I'm fucked up. This guy's voice is bouncing off the walls at different speeds.
And it's singing now. Now that little loop that I heard is now singing to the band.
And you'll do, all right. So that's a delay loop on Up the Beach. But I've also heard you just go like scream, "Hey." And then that goes into the machine someplace, and then like 3 songs later, it'll be like, hey.
Yeah, because I can have it disappear.
You have to be real present to know that you're going to call that. I guess that's like being a comic, like knowing that callback is coming. That's pretty cool. Or do you know it's coming?
Yeah, I know it's coming because I took it away. I put it away, and I know where it is, and I bring it back out.
It's fucking badass.
But I'm doing it with my feet. So that's why most people don't know
that. That's why on Letterman, doing it with your hands.
Well, I do it with my hands when I want it to sing, and I do holding it and taking it away and bringing it back with my feet.
Did you ever think in 1988, when you're mad at the world and you're writing these great songs that are the soundtrack of our lives, my listeners certainly, did you ever think you'd be at the Ed Sullivan Theater and Dave Letterman would go, "That's what we needed. Good job, guys."
Yeah. Yeah, you know what it was?
That Perry would have kicked the shit out of this guy.
No, but you know what? He liked my wife and our dance partner, Stephanie. So I think that's what he was saying. He's like, "Good job." He actually said, "We gotta get ourselves some dancing girls." You're a pretty smart
dancing
guy,
girls,
Perry.
Paul.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah, dancing girls.
And then he got himself dancing girls for like 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah?
They weren't as good as my dancing girls, though.
You've always had dancing girls. And Porno for Pyros, you had dancing girls, clowns, you had trapeze artists. You've always been the showman.
Well, like I say, you're going out there. Now you're going to entertain people live. It's like I look at musicians. I look at where our humble beginnings are from. We could have been, there could have been something happening in the village. Somebody's getting married, or it's just that time of the year when spring is here and when there's a party, the musicians come out and they entertain and people dance, and that's what we do. That's where I bring it. It's that primitive.
I'm going to tell you something. When I saw you at the Ritz, I've seen you many times, and I saw Porno for Pyros a couple times, and you do put on a show. You're a showman, and I'll leave you with this if you wish. When I saw you at the Ritz, my favorite concert that I've ever seen. Every concert that I think when I'm in the moment, this is the sickest shit I've ever seen in my life. That concert leaps to my frontal lobe and tells this concert, "Get the fuck at the back of it. This fucking concert, this is bullshit compared to what you already saw." And in that concert, there were no dancers. There was no trapeze. There were no bright colors. It was 4 guys on a mission. And you fucked us up. Don't ever forget that.
Okay, I won't.
Don't ever forget that.
Okay.
If it's fun, sure.
Yeah.
But don't
No,
ever
it's fun.
forget,
It
there
is
was
fun.
a black curtain, and it was the greatest show I ever saw. And my man, you've ruined 24 concerts for me where I go, this might be the best, in a good way, where I go, this might be the best concert.
Yeah.
Oh, no, this isn't even close.
Yeah, probably you won't see one like that again. I'll tell you why. I happen to be a young man with nothing to lose. You know, I'm not so young anymore, and I've got some things to lose. But I'm glad that we both had a chance to experience that together.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's the last time humanity...
But it doesn't mean I won't. I put my heart and my soul into every